Initialize Serenity Sequence.
Welcoming inner peace.
Practicing mindful mischief. Because life shouldn't be that serious. Sending love to the world.
And flipping ether to the haters.
Ready to do this thing? All right, let's go.
How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody all good? Let me click over here to comments to see who all's here. Hi, Tim. Hi, Kim, Rita. How's everybody tonight? So tonight I've got a pretty decent meditation for us here in a little bit. I've got a nice root chakra meditation, but we're going to pick up sort of where we left off because Valentine's Day, of course, we skipped. Did anybody happen to see any of the craziness I popped up for that? I put a couple of old cult black and white animations up there that I thought were pretty cool. I'm going to start doing that on another channel every now and then, so I figured I'd play with it and see how it worked on here. Just to get it. I will launch at 7:30 on Wednesdays, and I will launch at 10:30 on Fridays. Just it's going to be the case. Yeah. I'm glad you. Hey, oh, by the way, first things first on here, man. Kim, you are kicking ass with a lot of stuff that you're dropping out now, man. You're doing just so much content, and it looks really good. I'm really proud of you. Yeah, there's bits and pieces of all sort of stuff on here, Tim, and I'm glad you're doing good, Retha. But there's just I'm going to adjust this a little bit, right? I'm going to get a better camera here before too long because I'm going to jump back and forth between things, and this is a little dark. So, again, last time before Valentine's, we talked about the root chakra, and we didn't really get too deep into some things. We're going to talk tonight about some ways to actually work with that chakra and to help with, when I say healing, right, let's think of it as not necessarily healing, but growth and progression and being able to get us on track to become the people we want to be, because that's the whole purpose of this, right? The whole thing is to get control of our lives and control of our minds, and those two go hand in hand together. So we're going to go back over some of the things that we've talked about. I'm going to make that short, and I put it like compressed everything that we've done into a tiny little bit so that we can sort of get refreshed because it's been a week or so. And I think we might have some new people on here. I'm not sure. We got 6 folks on here. I have no idea who's on here. I can't see that unless you guys talk. So shout out if you're here, man. I want to know who it is and see everybody. But let's bump in where we were, what all we've done, and we'll take it from there, okay? I absolutely understand that. Yeah. So here we All right, guys. So let's recap what we've talked about already. I'll make it short. We did a deep dive on the history. We talked about the Vedas and the Upanishads. We briefly talked about the Tantras. We talked about Madame Blavatsky's Theosophical Society bringing some Eastern traditions like chakras and Kundalini into the Western esoteric philosophy. We went over some early thought leaders like Charles Ledbetter and his book, The Chakras. We talked about the westernization of yoga, of Kundalini, and of chakra work. We talked about the energy system in the body. We looked at the pathways of Kundalini and defined what a chakra was. For the purposes of this portion of the class, we're defining a chakra as the point where all three pathways of Kundalini energy intersect. Different traditions generally have different numbers of chakras. 114 is generally considered to be the total number of chakras. Modern Western traditions generally recognize 7 main chakras. Those are the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. You can think of those chakras not just as the spots of energy like you see on most diagrams, but actually flowing all the way through your body. In some traditions, that would be bodies. Talk about that later on. We've looked at how the perception of chakras has changed from the traditional views to a more modern version. Now, if you look back in the traditional pictures of the chakras, it's a little easier to understand the theory of frequencies involved. The more modern interpretation, where it's just the colors, if you understand that each color has a frequency, it makes sense. But if you haven't quite gotten to that yet, the modern view doesn't make it quite as obvious. Here's a more traditional diagram of what the chakras look like. Those chakras frequently connect to plexuses, which are groups of nerve cells. Those nerve cells transfer information throughout the body. You can get as woo-woo as you want with this, or you can get deep into neuroscience, depending on what your level of interest is and what you're trying to accomplish by your studies of the chakra system and Kundalini. On the woo-woo side, you'll discover that the Eastern system of Kundalini corresponds perfectly with the Western esoteric system of the Kabbalah, as far as the energy pathways go. That's even reflected in some tarot cards. On the more scientific side, you'll find that the 7 chakras relate to 7 ideas and concepts popularized by modern psychology. You'll find it also corresponds with Jungian psychology and even neuroscience. The 3 pathways of Kundalini are similar to the 3 primes in alchemy, the 3 polarities in electricity, and the 3 pathways of the Kabbalah. We also explored a little bit about mudras and energy work. And we ended up on the root chakra. I left all those lives up on the page and it's on the YouTube channel. It's on several other places. So if you want to go back and review any of that, if you have any questions, just go back and have a look at what we've talked about so far. There's a lot more to come. Nobody else can do the work for you, but this is at the very least a roadmap, a way to start. And the root chakra is the basis of it all. You start with healing those root chakra issues. And what the hell does that mean? Okay, so to take the woo out of it, it means that we have all had things in our life that make us feel insecure, fill us with worry and stress. And whether or not that was something that happened when you were 2 or 3 years old that affected your life, or whether it was something that happened last week, all that stuff builds up and piles up. You can't be your best. You can't conquer the world in whatever way you want to conquer it. You can't be the person that you really want to be if you're constantly worried about basic survival. And in this modern age, a lot of times our fight or flight reflex is kicking in all the time because of little tiny things going on around us, but they're going on at such a frequency that we're always worried about something. It's just the modern world we live in. So step 1 is to learn to deal with the stress, the worry, the uncertainty, and learn how to take control of your thoughts and control of what your nervous system tells your brain. Slow down that adrenaline, slow down that heart rate, find a little comfort, find a little safety, a little calm. Now, root chakra work done right is for me, equivalent to 10 years of therapy. If you rush through these chakras and you just say, oh, I want to raise that energy and get that kundalini up, let's do all the exercises for that. Yeah, you can do that. But if you don't have that balance, what's going to happen is eventually you're going to get to a time where it's the dark night of the soul, where all these things that you should have dealt with on the base level with root chakra start coming out when you're way past that. And you're wondering, why am I so worried? Why do I feel insecure? Why do I feel miserable? Why am I stressing out all the time? I thought everything was okay. Well, if you don't build the balance, as you pierce through each one of these chakras and as you grow, then your understanding of things becomes greater and better. And you start to see issues that you've never dealt with down here, and you have to deal with it up here. When your mind is wide open, when your throat chakra is just kicking, trying to communicate things out, your heart chakra is open, and you feel everything more. If you don't deal with those issues before you start opening these things up, then you're going to have a whole lot harder time as you try to grow emotionally and spiritually. So why does this even matter? Well, chakra work is a pathway that lets you improve your life, make decisions about the person that you want to be, and it helps you deal with things that come up in the world that we're tossed into. The root chakra work, which is what we're talking about tonight, is the foundation. It's what you build upon. It's going back and honestly doing shadow work. It's taking note of where you are in life, where you've been, and the things that have affected you. It's, yes, like every New Age guru out there says, journal work is important. It is. But root chakra work is about making you feel whole, complete, safe, making you feel like everything is okay. It's about getting rid of all the stress and anxiety that we deal with on a regular basis and getting us to a level playing field. Level, solid, like a rock to build on. For some people, just making it through the day is a chore. What's easy for some of us is hard for others, and vice versa. So, step one, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Wherever you're at on your journey is okay. For root chakra work, for building that stability, one thing that you need to be able to do is to control stress, and particularly if you're prone to panic attacks, getting that leveled out feeling. There's two techniques that I talk about on a regular basis. One of those is box breathing, and the other is 7 sighs. Let's talk a little bit about how those work and why they work. First off, get out of your head that stress is in your head, and stop stressing about being stressed. It's a normal reaction. Now, what your body does when you're stressed is gear up to respond to whatever threat it perceives. Now, at one point in time, those threats were things that were dangerous, running from wild animals and things of that nature. Stress is our body's way of gearing up to help deal with those things. Elevated heart rate, elevated blood pressure, heightened alertness. Your blood flow redirects to the essential organs. I'm sure that's really helpful if you're running from a lion, but if the concern is financial or relationship stress or car troubles or whatever worries that we all have on a regular basis, none of that really helps. It's your autonomic nervous system who's trying to have your back on this, trying to make sure you're going to be able to escape from that lion. It's a sympathetic fight or flight response. Now, using box breathing or other methods of controlled breathing to help bring about a state of calm helps switch your nervous system from fight or flight response to a parasympathetic rest, let your body digest, and relax mode. It's you telling your body everything's okay, we can calm the hell down now. That lowers the stress hormones. Cortisol lowers adrenaline, increases oxygen in the blood, and you're forcing yourself to be mindful of the moment. That forced thought process of thinking about your breathing and worrying about that keeps your mind from racing, and it can reset the moment. So that's a good tool to help get through the day when things go wrong and things go bad. It's not helpful if you don't practice it beforehand. So you may have noticed this when I popped this the other day, but I have a video out for that. So I want you guys to go back to that and practice that technique because it works. It will help you. Another tool that you hear talked about a lot is affirmations. Affirmations are very helpful for root chakra issues, but how do they work? So there is a small bundle of nerves inside your brain. It's called the RAS, the Reticular Activation System. And what this does is it's a filter, and it filters out what is important to you. And you sort of program that. Like, for instance, if you're in a crowded room and there's a whole lot of conversation going on, but you hear your name called, that filter lets your name flow through there and lets you understand that you're being talked about. Click, oh, hi Bob, how you doing? You're just talking about me, right? It filters information because there's so much stuff going on around us that if we were seeing everything happening right now, noticing every single color on the walls, noticing the lights, all the sound, all at one time, it'd be information overload. So the RAS filters what's important, and the only way it knows what's important is what you feed it. Like if you buy a car and you've never seen a car like this before, and then on the way home, all of a sudden you see 20 of the exact same model, exact same color on the way back. That's because you programmed your mind that's important because you now own this car. Affirmations are a good way to reprogram your mind. It lets things in. You start telling yourself things about yourself, positive things, and it lets you see the positive things that come about. A lot of times we're programmed to only see the worst, particularly if, as a kid, you were told that you were lesser than. If you came from a family that's struggling with money and you hear, we don't have that kind of money, your mind is programmed like that. And you won't see opportunities when they come about. The whole point of affirmations is to reprogram your mind to let you see and be receptive to those positive things, those good things. So affirmations for root chakra, it's great. This also ties into the law of attraction. We'll talk more about that on a later basis. But right now, tools to worry about: meditation, mindfulness, journal work, shadow work, affirmations. And if you don't do affirmations on a regular basis and you feel silly talking to yourself, it's okay, right? We all do. Do it anyway. Sing to yourself if you need to. Like, what was that from the movie with Jerry? Wasn't? Yeah, it was Jerry Lee Lewis. Great Balls of Fire. We had that scene where he's singing, "How great I am." You know, it doesn't have to be ego like that, but tell yourself it's okay to be okay. Look better. I'm going to remember to turn this microphone on from time to time when I switch locations. Um, so, yeah, affirmations are important and they're helpful. And so is journaling. I mean, I know journaling is a cliche, but it works. I mean, do you guys work with that? Work with journal prompts? Because I'm going to drop some in just a minute that are designed for root chakra work. So if you got something to write down, you want to try these, hi Wookie, and you want to try these, I'm fixing to drop you something. Yes, Ruth, I use box breathing a lot myself. It's helpful, and I'll drop that video on there in a bit. Sometimes, okay. I have actually, it's not really a journal, but I use this for a lot of my thoughts and ideas and my explorations of the cosmos, so to speak. I like to take notes on things and see where it takes me. So writing stuff down is good. Yeah, I actually posted on my Facebook earlier this morning that I was concerned about Becky actually shanking someone at work, and She didn't. So, yeah, round of applause. Good job. Use your box breathing. Use all those things and keep that temper down. Don't shank anybody. So, before we get to the next part, I got a good meditation coming in a few minutes too. Any thoughts, ideas? What's on everybody's mind? How y'all doing? Yeah, I was proud of her, Aretha. I was really proud. Nobody got stabbed. Nobody got cut. It was a good thing. All right, guys. I'm going to kick out this list of sort of journal prompts, but it's something that might be useful for root chakra work. So if you're working on root chakra, here's some good stuff to work with. So let's talk about journal prompts for a little bit. If we're working on the root chakra, then these things need to be focused on what makes us feel safe and secure. So get a pen and paper, write these down if you want to. This is some ideas that you can explore. It'll help you with the shadow work and help you make you feel, or at least help you figure out what makes you feel secure and safe and comfortable and warm. Get those warm, fuzzy, lovey feelings inside. But this is a form of shadow work, so it's not all going to be happy, happy, joy, joy. You're going to find some things you need to work on, and that's the plan. So let's start with your physical body. I want you to reflect on how you take care of your body. So write this prompt down. Define what you do to take care of your physical self, your health, your body, your self-image. Ask yourself if there are parts of your physical body, as far as your health and your body image go, that need attention. Now, generational issues are another aspect of root chakra work. This one's hard sometimes. Ask yourself if there are any unresolved traumas, issues, or addictions that have been passed down from generation to generation. Ask yourself, what is my core belief of the world? Try to define for yourself how you think the world functions as far as society goes. Now, think about your living space, your home. Ask yourself, are there areas of my home that need attention that I can do something about? What do I need to fix? What do I need to improve to make it feel more comfortable and more safe? What changes can you make to make yourself feel more grounded at home? All right, so ask yourself, what are my personal boundaries? And do I enforce them? Boundaries are useless unless enforced, and they are important. Write yours down. Quantify what they are, what you will tolerate, what you will not tolerate, and what you expect from people in your life and your world. Now, write down the ways that you ground yourself. We talked about this last week as far as food goes and things that make you feel safe and at home. For a journal prompt, write down what makes me feel safe and comfortable. And that can be food, it can be music, it can be people, anything. Write down what makes you safe. Yeah. This is not a lot, but it's a good start at journaling and shadow work to help you heal and understand that root chakra and build that foundation. When we talk about healing in this, think about it more as building. Because, yes, in some ways we're all broke, but it's not just healing, it's building and making us into the person that we want to be. we have some control over that. But first things first, we got to take accounting of where we are right now and where we want to be. A lot of times for me, that's the hard part, is figuring out where do I go from here? What's next? And it's one of those things where self-exploration is really important, because what my goals were a year or two ago would not in any way align with who I am now. I've gotten largely away from concern about material things and more concerned about exploration and just trying to be a better version of me. And sometimes that bites me in the rear. Sometimes it makes life better. But at any rate, it's me exploring and trying to become whoever it is I'm supposed to be. Eventually, I'll get there. I still got a long way to go on this path, man. I'm just getting started walking down and figuring out what the directions are. But so far, it's fun. So those prompts are things that if you explore deeply, it can be powerful. It's just shadow work. I mean, that's the whole point for journaling, is it's shadow work. Well, it's one of the points to it. But for root so I can cough. I just reversed the microphone that I thought was on. It's off. So this is a really nice mic. I'm just having a hard time figuring it out. So, all right. So you guys want to do a quick guided meditation? Anybody down? All right. Give me a second. Here we go. This is a quick meditation for the root chakra. Close your eyes. Take a few really deep breaths. Inhale deep through your nose. Feel the air fill your body. Exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension. Now, I want you to use your mind and focus on the base of your spine. Imagine a warm red light surrounding your body. Every time you inhale, visualize this red light expanding, covering you in a cocoon of grounding energy, feeling soft and safe and comfortable. Keep focusing on the base of your spine. Visualize that spinning wheel of a chakra, letting out warm, safe, comfortable energy. Now, visualize feeling safe, grounded. Imagine roots from the base of your spine flowing down into the earth, connecting with the earth energy, making you feel safe and secure, anchoring you, grounding you like the strong roots of a tree. With every breath, sense that connection with you and the earth. Remind yourself that you're safe, supported, and you're grounded. Imagine a strong foundation below you, providing stability and assurance. Now, starting from the top of your forehead, scan your body. Try to feel for anything that feels uncomfortable, any tension or any stress, and let it go. Imagine all the stress in your body right now just melting away like butter, relaxing you. Feeling safe, secure. Let any anxiety or stress left in your body flow down into the earth through those roots, letting you feel grounded, knowing you're safe and secure, and that everything's going to be okay. Now, imagine with each breath, drawing from the earth that solid, secure energy, nurturing energy, feeling love, feeling your energy replenishing, revitalizing your root chakra, feeling connected with the earth, with nature. Let yourself be filled with love and joy and the peace that comes from that stability. Spend a few moments quietly contemplating in the stillness, feeling the grounded energy around you, knowing you can return to this grounded state of safety and calmness anytime and anywhere you need to feel grounded. Imagine your connection to the whole, to the earth, to this big, wide, beautiful planet. When you feel ready, bring your awareness back to the present moment. Gently open your eyes. Awaken, feeling grounded, safe, secure, self-aware. I turned the mic on. I love the background sound with that. It feels very oceany to me. I love the ocean. I love being out by the beach. It's one of those things that totally relaxes me. Um, During many rough patches in my life, I've gravitated toward the ocean. Thank you, Ethan. Thanks again. So, I got a question for you guys, right? What's today's win, right? Technically, it was Becky's win, but for me, it was a win that Becky did not catch a charge and nobody got shanked today. So that was a win. So, what's a win for you guys today? Anything. Getting up out of bed sometimes, handling something. Give me a small win of some kind. I want to know what's going on. And I'm going to, while requesting that, I'm going to play with I will bring out this little question mark guy here. I know he's all over me. I'll bring out the dragon. How about that? Parks are good. That's one of those things where, and the weather was beautiful for that. It was a really nice day today. I wish I could have got out more. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm glad your son's better. That's important. You know, kids of the world. I saw that, Kim. And again, I'm really super proud of you and all the things that you're putting out, the content that you're putting out, the things that you're opening up about. It takes a lot. Shoulder work is good. All these little things add up, and it's what helps us, deal with life. Those small wins. A lot of times we don't count them. We don't think about them. We just go through on autopilot and forget about all the things that really matter. And gratitude is one of those things that I try to have as much of as I can. I'm grateful right now for every single one of you guys for being on here and sharing a little time with me tonight. I'm grateful for my wife, my family, even my pets, my home, everything. In times of my life, I've had absolutely nothing, literally zero. The best meal I ever had in my life was a can of sardines that I found on the road. This is many years ago, 35 years, I guess. I don't know, a long time ago. But I've had rough times, and those rough times have made me grateful for these times now, which are not so rough. There's rough days, but for the most part, life is pretty easy. Life is all right. I'm grateful for you too, Retha. And Retha, I'm really proud of you. You've come a long, long, long way over this journey we've been on. I've seen so many of you guys working so hard and growing so much, and it just brings me great joy into my heart to see all of it. I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of all of you guys. And Bethany, welcome here. It's this little group of misfits. We're all on a journey trying to become better people, better humans, and learn as much as we can. Aretha, I point, I go that way, right? I'm just a trail guide. I'm just like a sign, man. You guys are doing all the work. I'm just pointing the direction. I'm thankful. Well, I was going to say I'm thankful that I don't have to leave as quick as I thought I would. I got some stuff going on that I'll be telling you guys about. I'll still be online, but I might not be online in Chilton County for a little bit. But when I get back, there's going to be a more solid place for our real-time classes that are physical and not online. So that's coming very soon. I'll tell you guys all about that when it gets here. Well, before we go tonight, is there anything anybody wants to talk about? Or, you know what? How about a quick introduction for everybody? I think everybody sort of has an idea who everybody is, but give me one line. Tell me about yourselves. I'll give you one from mine. I'm just Doug, right? I'm just Doug, trying to make it through this world and figure out a pathway. Yeah, Retha, you would have, because when you're supposed to learn something, you learn it. When the time comes, you'll get there, right? You get where you're supposed to be. My path, again, was just a point in the direction. Worry is one of those things that's a killer. Mindfulness helps a lot with that. Something that I always say in classes is we have control of one moment in time, and that's this one. A lot of times we spend our lives going through the days thinking about what we said back here, 6 months, 6 years ago about saying something wrong, doing something wrong, other people's opinions. We should have done this, should have done that. And we've got no control over that now. And sometimes we worry a lot about the future. We don't really have a lot of control over that. All we have is right now. And sometimes we forget to enjoy that. And that's one of those things at the end of my life, I want to look back and have as many moments as possible And I don't want to give them up for worrying about the past or the future. I want to be here and now. Yeah, that sounds right. Comedian, photographer, mother, grandma, wife, boss, and friend. Uh, I laugh at her all the time. So the comedian part's true. Me mask and me names. And Tim, you're actually one of the coolest cats I've known for a long time, man. You and I have a lot of similar interests. I wish you were closer where we can hang out more. And Kim, I need to see you before I go at some point in time. I think I'm going to be out of town after next week. But at any rate, guys, it's been a nice live. It's good to get to know you guys. And the next Friday is, of course, we'll be doing tarot and esoteric history. And next week we'll move some into the sacral chakra rounds, and we're going to work our way up to these. And the journal prompts and all the other exercises and things we talked about tonight are powerful. Use those. Work with those, and I promise it'll help. Same. All right, guys. Good night.